So here's my outline. Here's my outstanding audience. And
Alright, when growing up as a kid, going to school, I really understand when other kids were actually treating other kids poorly and trying to make them feel bad about themselves. I didn't understand at a young age what they were doing. Because I did it to my siblings, I did it to my brother and sister, I did it to my cousins. It was just normal around then. There's actually no awareness, in the early 90s on types of bullying and what kind of effects they have on them. Do you actually know when it actually starts? What kind of side effects of bullying does it actually happen to the kids and actually older teens and adults? And does anybody ever do anything about it? And what are we doing to help prevent it? And some of the things that we can help prevent people to stop bullying towards people. Now I've covered what's going to cover our presentation. Let's cover our first key point. Actually, bullying actually starts at age 5 to 12th grade. It's pretty crazy. Never thought a 5-year-old would actually bully another kid. According to violenceprevention.com, states that 1 out of 7 kids are being bullied or bullying other people. And what they're doing is they're going to school, they're doing name calling, they're starting rumors about kids. My kid was pretty much a victim of that. But I just don't understand how it really affects kids that age. I didn't understand that because it didn't happen to me when I was a kid. Because back in the day, it was just more, having fun with each other. Some of it's pretty much I think about it now is like, are the kids being abused at home? Are their siblings attacking them mostly? What kind of environment they're growing up in? Who really knows? The bullies, what they try to do is their whole concept is to use it as entertainment, to make sure to make them think that they deserve it, and try to show off in front of their friends. I mean, everybody wants friends, so what they do is just to be the cool person is to make somebody else feel bad. According to some of the emotions and some of the side effects that happens to kids is suicide. Actually, suicide is the highest death rate at the age of 14. And that's pretty weird to think about how teenagers and young kids are thinking about suicide. They're supposed to be kids, having a great time. But you never think of it yourself as being parents or just, having no kids. It's like actually young kids are actually committing suicide because of being bullied. Yale University Medical School actually did a study saying, 30 years ago, suicide has risen up to 50% in the past 30 years. I'm 29 years old. So pretty much saying that since I was, when I was born till now, it's increasingly got high. When they go to school, they have bad adjustments going to school. They don't want to go to school. According to the CDC, they have poor adjustment. It's low self-esteem. My kid, same thing. He didn't want to go to school. We moved to Fort Leonard because of the kids, how they treated him. And that made me upset. Made me want to go to the school and see what was going on. Just never thought that would ever happen to my kids. And it does happen. can you think back to the parents, is like, what are the parents doing to their kids to make them do that? Are the siblings of that kid, he's probably the youngest kid, so he's probably getting treated pretty poorly. So he goes to school and he tries to make himself feel better and do it to other kids. When you go to schools and you hear this kind of things, what are the teachers doing? Are the teachers actually confronting the kid and sending the kid, talking to the parents, sitting the kid down and actually talking to them? Probably not. What they do is they pretty much just turn their head and walk away. When kids actually they get caught bullying other kids or harassing other kids, there's no major repercussions on what happens with that kid. You can't expel the kid. You can't suspend him. He's not going to learn nothing. He's got to know what he's done and how badly he has affected other kids in his school. That kid will probably grow up, to be raised as a bad kid, and he'll do it to older kids, and it's just going to be bad for him. So it's good to just do it when they're young. To teach them young so they can grow a good kid. And my kid doesn't bully the kids. He's too scared to, because he doesn't want to hurt people's feelings. I'm not saying the best parent, but we teach our kid, my son and my daughter, to treat other kids with respect. That's the whole point. And he'll do anything for a kid. Well, how come other kids can't do that? The same thing for other kids too. Now, I'm still hard on my kid. And, even in workplaces. Think about it, workplaces. It happens in the Marine Corps too. Other Marines, they bully or they harass other people to make them feel better about themselves. And it creates a bad environment. Nobody wants to come to work. Nobody ever wants to come to work. And we still have a suicide rate in the Marine Corps too. Because of a bad environment, they just don't like life. They just don't. It's because of the people. A person can make a great place. A great person can make a place awesome. And that ties into, you as a parent and you as just a person in trying to prevent this kind of things. Teach your kids, like, for instance, if you see a kid being harassed or anything, tell the kid to stop or say something to somebody. Teach your kids to say something to somebody. Don't be scared. And give classes to the kids, on more awareness. If a kid treats you like this, you need to say something so it can stop there. Now we discussed, when it actually starts, some of the emotions that have effectiveness it does towards the kids. What do people do? And some of the things that we can do as a society to be better. Me as a parent, I'm glad that my kids are not. I'm glad my kids are not like that. I'm glad. And every time I see that thing, kids being harassed or anything like that, I talk to them. Even though they're not my kids, because I want to make sure they treat each other with respect. And hopefully, some of you will do the same and try to have more awareness and to minimize the suicide rate and kids' poor self-esteem and help them out.